I definitely considered setting Natalie up with one of my cousins on the mission. I didn't know which one, but from the moment we met, we were just such a good friends. I was like, hey, Sister Ludwinski, you should marry my cousin. She was like, yeah, okay, sounds good.
Did you ever think you'd really marry a cousin's mission companion?
Um, no, actually, I never did think that.
Sounds good. But I didn't really think, I thought Kyle would be married by the time she got home. But then as it kind of got more to the end of my mission, and she still wasn't married and he wasn't married, and I was like, yeah, okay, this could work out. And when they both came to my homecoming, it was just perfect. It was just the perfect time.
At Brooke's homecoming, she went to the after party, and I, of course, went to the after party because there was food. Well, the first time we met, I said inside my head that she has the most beautiful eyes I've ever seen. And so I wanted to get to know her more, of course.
I think that I knew day one that he was super interested in her. I think it was the blue eyes that really got him.
What did you notice first about her and why?
Well, her eyes, because they're so blue.
So when could I tell that things were getting serious between Kyle and Natalie? I think it was different for both of them. Kyle, I think that I knew day one that he was super interested in her. But after he went down to Logan for the second time, I was like, wait a minute here. Kyle is taking time out of his school time to commute down to Logan and visit this girl that he just barely met. And I realized that there was really something more going on his end.
When Kyle was telling me right after he met her that this was right after he met her that he would marry her tomorrow, then I knew it was different then. And every time after that, because he kept going every weekend, we always knew he was going to be in Logan having a date with her.
With Natalie, I think it was probably shortly after the 4th of July, maybe the 4th of July, when she came up to see him. And I just realized that this really could potentially go somewhere, and Natalie might be my cousin, and I was so excited about it. So that was really fun.
I'm not sure exactly when I knew. I guess when I actually knew, it was probably when she, bought a plane ticket to come to North Dakota, because then that was a real thing. She actually paid money to come see me.
Was it obvious before you two discussed it officially?
Not to me.
When did you know this was real, that she was the one you wanted to marry for eternity?
I think the first time was probably when she came all the way to North Dakota to visit me. That's when I realized she was really into me and I was really into her.
How did you feel about it? Excited? Scared?
I would say all of the above, of course, but mostly excited, because then I didn't have to be in the dating scene anymore. I guess having her in my arms. I would say her eyes. Like I said earlier, that's what kind of got me the first time. Probably my arm muscles, I think. My favorite thing is definitely that she's converted to the gospel. I wouldn't want a girl who's not converted.
And her favorite thing about you?
Probably the same thing, that I'm definitely converted to the gospel.
Who said I love you first?
I did, on this very couch, actually. I kissed her first, but she knew that I was going to kiss her.
How did you know?
I don't really know. How about our second favorite thing to do together is holding hands?
And your favorite thing?
Well, I don't want to say that.
What is it?
I'm not going to tell you. No.
Are you sure?
Well, not nicknames that you would know.
What are they?
There are none. Well, I have several that kind of bug me. I would say dull knives are my biggest pet peeve.
And hers?
Her biggest pet peeve is probably not cleaning up after yourself. She complains about that a lot with the roommates. I would say cleaning the bathroom because it's disgusting.
And hers?
Probably cleaning the bathroom because it's disgusting. First date, we went out, got pizza at Federico's Pizza, and then we went to First Dam Park and we made fun of some ducks. And then I didn't want it to end, so we went and got Dole Whip ice cream. And then I went and helped her with some homework, and then I went home. I would like to live in the mountainous part of Idaho.
And her?
She would probably want to live in Utah, but I'm sure that she would be okay with living in Idaho. Well, honestly, to me, it wouldn't really matter as long as I have Natalie with me.
And where would she want to go?
Probably Jamaica, because that's where she picked for the honeymoon.
So I had run downstairs to grab something, and when I came back up, I was like, where are Kyle and Natalie? And they were out on the trampoline, so I peeked through the back window, and I could see Natalie was like sitting down and holding her back, and I was like, oh no, did she get hurt? And I kind of watched for a second, but she seemed to be okay. And then she came back in, and I could just tell immediately that something was wrong and that she was hurting really bad. So we got her some medicine because she really was hurting. And Kyle just felt super terrible about it. And that night we went to watch the fireworks. And the whole time she was in such an extremity of pain. But she didn't want to tell Kyle because she didn't want to make him feel bad. And I was just like, Kyle, you broke my friend's back. Like, great job. You hurt her. Way to be.
They were playing crack the egg, and he cracked her back. That's what he told me.
Well, what happened is she was jumping on a trampoline, right? And then some random stranger was jumping too, and he broke her back when she was playing a game with him. And then I went and helped her, and she fell in love with me after that.
He broke her back?
Mm-hmm.
Felt really sorry for Kyle because he felt really bad. And I felt really sorry for Natalie because she's the one who got hurt. And that she fell victim to Kyle's accident proneness. He's done a few of those things before.
And when Kyle found out that it was actually broken, he was just mortified. He felt terrible. And yeah, I was like, Kyle, you broke my companion. What do you think you're doing? That's not how you win her over. But apparently that is how you win her over. So who knew?
Well, after a date, she took me over to her parents' home, and we sat on the couches in the living room and just talked for a little while. They got to know me and I got to know them some, and that was about it.
Was it scary?
Not really. They were very nice people, actually. Well, I actually didn't have any time with Dave when Natalie or her mom was there. We were never alone, except for in the temple. So I actually had to ask him when we were in the temple, in the men's dressing room. And so I was still getting ready, and he was standing there waiting for me, and that's when I basically just asked him if I could marry his daughter. He was very shocked and actually speechless for a short time. And then, of course, he said yes, and we gave each other hugs, and that was it. So the proposal was all a big secret. I used Brooke, which is one of her good friends, to help me plan it all out. She helped me decide to do it in the Teton Mountains. She helped me pick a ring and everything. So, and she helped me keep it a secret from Natalie, which was really difficult, of course. And so we went up to the Teton Mountains. There was a ski lift. We went up the ski lift and we walked around and we got to see a pretty good view of the mountains, actually. And then I pulled out a ring and proposed to her, and she was very shocked. And it was a very satisfying experience, actually, especially since she said yes.
So I think that Kyle and Natalie are a good match because they're both just such genuinely good people. Like, I remember when Kyle got home from his mission just being like, wow, he is an incredible human being. He's just good. And Natalie's the same way. She's just so sweet and just radiates goodness all the time. And they're just easy, laid back people and just really fun to be around. So I think that they're a really cute match. I think they're really good together.
I think that they are well matched in the way they think, and they are both very real, like they're not pretentious in any way. What you see is what you get. And I think that they're compatible in, spiritually, and they are attracted to each other physically, and I just think it all just works together really well.
Natalie, I love you enough to marry you, of course. You're special because of all the awesome attributes that you have with loving the gospel, with loving kids, the people around you, your family, and of course, loving me. And I wouldn't want it any other way.